What is up, everybody? Today, I'm doing a review for episodes 4, 5, 6, the number after 6. You thought I'd fall for it, didn't you? And 8 of the Amazing Digital Circus. Now, before we get into the video, I have 2 things to say. One, it's a combination of basically almost every Digital Circus episode that I haven't reviewed, because I want to make a review for episode 9 ASAP. So, yeah. And second, I will no longer be using scripts from now on. I think I've kind of moved on from that. So, let's get into it. Let's start with episode 4. Okay, episode 4. This one, it was an episode alright. Now, there were some cons, but let's just get the cons out of the way. One, the pacing in this episode wasn't the greatest. I'm not bashing on this episode. I don't think it's a bad episode. Trust me, it's a really good one. I just think they could have worked on the pacing a little bit more. Mainly the ending. We should have just went over the gang's thoughts or what happened while Kinger was actually in the circus and not in the adventure. And that's the second con. I feel like it would have been much more funny and much more cool if Kinger did take part in Spudsies. But I mean, again, we can't have Kinger making us laugh for about 25 minutes. Well, 23 minutes. Anyways, now that we've got the cons out of the way, let's get to the pros. Now, the pros, I think focusing on Gangle was really cool. I think it's time to move aside from Pomni. Now, another thing, the animation has drastically changed in a good way. The animation used to be okay, in my opinion, but now it's amazing. I mean, just look at these shots, man. They're beautiful. Yeah, I've got no words to say. It was a really good episode. Now, let's get into episode 5. Now, episode 5 is a weird one. I really don't have any cons. I'm not saying this was a perfect episode. There were some minor flaws, but it was still a good episode. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's been a single Digital Circus episode, one of the episodes were, bad. It doesn't even have to be really bad. It's mediocre or bad. Every Digital Circus episode is good in their own right, but we're getting off track. So, we get to see small insights on who, the humans were in the real world. Ragatha had an abusive mother. Pomni liked abandoned buildings. We didn't really see anything on Kinger, but we saw that Gangle was in college for graphic design but dropped out. Then she became a shift manager. And then, Zubul was a tattoo artist and then a bartender, and yeah. And then we got to see Breaking Bad reference. And we slowly got to see Jax and Pomni becoming friends, but something in episode 6 proved that wrong. But we'll get to that later. And it introduced us to my favorite character, Disappearing Guy. It used to be Bubble, but Disappearing Guy took the throne. Don't judge me. We've got our own opinions. Now, episode 6. Okay, episode 6 was just different in a really good way. I think it's probably my favorite episode yet. Probably. 1, the pacing was really good. It was longer. It was the longest episode in the entire Digital Circus series. That was a good thing. We got to see more of Zubul and Gangle's friendship, which was really heartwarming. We got to see that in episode 4. I forgot to mention that, but anyways. My favorite scene, though, was Jax blowing up on Pomni. Not literally. I mean, never mind. But when Jax crashes out on Pomni, does that sound better? Yeah, it was really crazy. This has set up a bunch of fan theories. Not as much as episode 7, though. let's get into episode 7. Alright, episode 7. This was a wild ride. And I mean both literally and figuratively. This was such a good episode. It set up so many fan theories that I'm still scratching my head on. And it's just so crazy. So, the cast tries to find a way to escape the circus with Abel, a blank mannequin body. But then later, we find out that the entire thing was set up by Kane. But here's the weird part. Jax pressed the red button, the button that would keep them there in the circus. And when Jax was in there and the whole crew, we saw a bit of images from the real world of someone driving, and I suppose that's Jax. And it sets up fan theories. We won't get into that much, but still. It was crazy. There's much more behind Jax now. It's really crazy. It's just insane. I also liked the writing. The writing was funny. It was just a wild ride. It'll have you at the edge of your seat. Now, episode 8. Now we're in the last one. So, episode 8. Now, starting off, Kane going from a funny AI to a full-on antagonist was really cool to see. And seeing him crash out on the crew was really cool. Running the show was a banger. I still think of it in the morning as soon as they wake up. That's actually not a joke. The vocal performances really change. You really see the change in Jax and Kane's voice. And it's just really, really good. And it set up a bunch of nostalgia. So, yeah. Now, the one thing is down to how the show is paced. We've got one more episode left. Basically, one more hour of content. So it's going to be weird how we can find out more about characters such as Ribbit, Kaufmo, Queenie, Scratch, and all these other characters, while also trying to focus on the plot. But I think Glitch will find a way to make it work. Glitch is a fire indie animation studio. And also, one more thing. One teeny tiny thing. I don't know what I was going to say. So, yeah. I am really, really excited. I'm really excited for episode 9. I don't think anybody saw the plot twist of Kane getting deleted. It's going to be such a wild ride. At the time of recording this, it is May 31st. It's crazy how we're basically halfway into the year. Time just flies fast, man. At the time of posting this, June 6th, I have watched the Amazing Digital Circus episode 9. But at the time of recording this, no. But expect a review on episode 9, June 18th. So, be ready, guys. Oh my gosh, I really rushed the process. Alright, end card. So there isn't really much to say other than I am so unbelievably excited for episode 9. And when I mentioned how time just flies fast, I mean, while the time was flying fast, our channel also grew fast. At the beginning of the year, we went from 2 subscribers all the way to 170. Well, at the time of recording this. It's just insane, man. I cannot thank you guys enough. We'll have to see what we have at the end of the year. I'm thinking not really 300. Hopefully we can get to 250 by the end of the year. Thank you guys. One more thing. Yes, I am addressing the leak situation. It is really, really bad. Mainly the leak situation for episode 9. It's just crazy. Gooseworks just lost all passion for Digital Circus. It's crazy. So go support episode 9. Just please. A bunch of hard work was put into this. Please just go check it out. Subscribe to these other YouTubers on the top of the screen. And thank you for watching. And I'll catch you next time, June 18th, episode 9 review. Peace out. Okay, this is Saturday, June 6th. And yesterday I did actually see the last act. And it was really good. That's all I'm going to say for now. As said in the video earlier, I will post a review on June 18th. But there's one quick thing I left out. A bunch of people have been asking for another face reveal. And I actually took a photo at the movie theater after the movie, right next to a Digital Circus poster that most of you have probably seen walking into theaters. Here we go.
God, you look stupid.
You're lucky to have what's left of your sanity.
And some might call it tragic
When the circus lost its magic.